here we are, lads, ladies, my friends in between. Last we left off, Lunaris, am I right? It's right. Um, it's Lunaris, baby, and things are going places, shall we say. After a long rest on our journey on the skyship, towards Pure Star, we decided to sit down and really hash out what we ought to do when we get there. Everyone kind of collectively agreed that one of the big priorities was definitely helping Loki's sister. We had waited long enough, and we should definitely get a head start on whatever sort of rescue mission had to be put in action. Isaac attempted to scry on Coralie using this constructed magical illusory likeness of her, reaching out his magic and his intention. He found that his spell failed, given that it seems as though she is on another plane of existence. With a little questioning, Lucia kind of explained that it's very possible that she is in the Hells, given that Lucia's father had the ability to travel between the Hells, also with some sort of event or deal or thing gone wrong involving Lokia that people apparently got condemned to hell. That was a fun thing to learn. Happy for her. You know what? Rock on. We arrived in Pure Star. Truly the city of love and light, baby. The gilded streets, the beautiful buildings, the fancy ass coins or fancy ass monetary system, because they're apparently too good for gold coins, whatever. As we're sitting on the deck of the skyship, Lucia offers some books to Isaac about demons, devils, and necromancers to study, to read, to hopefully glean some sort of next step if it's true that her sister is in fact in the Hells, and why and how she might have got there.
But
But Philippe disguises himself as a funky little tabaxi. And I wrote, "Who are you hiding from, old man?" So I hope that he's spiritually an old man to me. I don't know his actual age, but vibe-wise, he gives me old man. Like
old
shady old man.
old furry.
Old furry. Shady old furry. That's him. It's my favorite shady old furry. Luke and Isaac have a little bonding moment over, God, you really can't help what your younger siblings do. Even if they don't actually want you to help them, you're still gonna try. And then we look over the bow of the ship, and I have the note, hey, the Titan's moving. Is it supposed to do that? It seems to be broadcasting some sort of multilingual cry for help. And as we arrive at the base of the once statue, now apparently back to living Titan, there's about 100 cultists, some of the red-robed assassin variants, and some of the green-robed mage variants. Isaac spots some of the people that kidnapped him that first night. And then we all go, we could probably take 100 people. I think. I think we could. We try to kind of keep things chill. Philippe shows one of the assassins a pendant that he nicked from Willow. We're still very curious about that one. The cultist doesn't seem to recognize it and keeps shouting at us in this lovely little language to leave, to just get lost. But we're cool, and we don't really take direction well from people that aren't also cool. We decide to fight 100 people, which I respect that. A fight goes down, we're saucing hits left and right. People are also kind of getting hits on us too. There's a wizard v wizard in air quotes battle when Isaac gets charmed essentially, goes to polymorph Voltaire, but is counterspelled by Philippe, and then Philippe's like, actually not on my watch, bitch. And then throws a bunch of Eldritch Blasts out into the universe. Wizard for wizard, it's all good. Eventually the fight winds down. A lot of people are crushed by the Titan as he frees himself from this prison. We kill the rest of them very swiftly. Isaac puts someone in a turtle form, still holding him. Love that guy. And we learn that this Titan is Bashikid, the Titan of Progress. His task was sort of advancement of society, of magic, of learning. He was one of the last remaining Titans, before he was petrified, post Age of Calamity, in the Age of Calamity, at the end of the Age of
So
Calamity.
let's cut it off there so that we get to explain more of this lore
Oh, so
as
true.
it comes up.
So true.
Um,
He's free now. Maybe.
so we're not lore dropping um too early. So Blue Jay, essentially what you see from the airship, um, and this is sort of going to be a in the span of a few minutes. You're going to see essentially over the buildings. You see the giant now moving statue turned titan. It's kind of like struggling to break free from these like ethereal chains that are binding it. You don't know where the chains came from, but you just see it bound in a bunch of like ethereal, like greenish, bluish sort of chains of sorts. And every so often, it would like find a way to break free. As you see its like hand sort of get loose from the chains, and you see it kind of like the hand of the Titan careening down, and you just feel the shockwave every so often as the hand makes contact with the ground, and the airship starts to kind of like sway as the water of the dock kind of like puts the airship in motion. Um, and bits of debris are flying at you from the shockwave. And as it's pulling its hand up, you just see it's covered in blood and guts and just body parts. And it's starting to worry you as you're like, you're not hearing anything from your friends. You don't really hear your friends. You're just seeing this Titan smash down every so often, bringing its hands up with blood and disgusting body parts. And after a couple minutes, it's over, and you see the Titan standing there with its hands dripping blood. And this is where you kind of like tell Cora, like, you stay here. I'm gonna go check on them, see if we need to get out of here quickly. And then you just make a beeline to the city. And this is kind of like where you meet up with everyone. There's bodies of cultists everywhere, and you see your friends are exhausted. They're kind of like in the aftermath of the fight. They're all bloodied. They're bruised. They're exhausted. Voltaire is nearly the Titan's feet. He's covered head to toe in blood from these impacts, and you see um, Freddy is holding a turtle in his hand, or not Freddy, Isaac is holding a turtle in his hands, and this is a bit confusing. So I'll let you sort of react and uh, do what you would do in a scenario.
So I'm gonna run up to Gorm and Lilkia, and I'm just gonna like grab them and be like, what is going on?
I'll let Gorm respond to that since Loki is not here.
Turns out the Titan's cool. The cultists, as always, aren't.
Oh, okay. Uh, what do we do now with it then?
I have no idea. What do we need to do anything? It seems to, you know, just be chilling.
I don't know either. Do we just what do we just leave it in the chains?
Well, I forgot to describe this, but as soon as all of the cultists were destroyed, these ethereal chains start to dissipate from it as it sort of like steps forward a little bit. And it's indeed chilling, but it's sort of like it's like you can see the chest of it is kind of like heaving a little bit as it's fought this whole time to break out of these chains. You don't know how long it's been fighting, but it's it looks exhausted.
Oh wow. Okay. And be like, well, does it like do we just leave it? Does it need healing? Like, who here?
I I don't know how Titans work. Does regular healing even work on them?
Well, I guess we're gonna have to figure out somehow.
Gorm, you hear it in your head. This is only you. You hear, yes.
Alright, I'm just not gonna think anything of that. It's like, I'm sure that was nothing.
Just some random thing saying yes in my head after I asked the question out loud.
Yeah, that doesn't happen, so I'm sure it didn't just happen.
Are you saying this out loud,
No,
or are you just thinking it?
just internally.
And in that regard, you hear, this doesn't just happen.
No, I don't trust it.
Just noping the fuck out.
Let someone smarter deal with this. I don't know.
You resigned the right to be smart when you were both handsome and strong.
Apparently, yes, that's how it works.
I mean, he does have a feat that is called "What a Hunk." So, what's funny about that is it's free beer for you and also the ugliest or the roughest looking one in your group. So that's gonna be hurtful for somebody.
Oh no.
Really? But the free beer.
Yeah, it's gotta help, right?
So, Voltaire, what are you doing in this instance? You're covered in blood. You got like blood in your mouth, some guts in your mouth a little bit.
I was gonna turn to Philippe and be like, the plan. There was a plan. What's the plan?
I don't think Philippe mentioned that
He didn't mention it out loud. It was sort of
out
like
loud.
Oh,
pulling the person to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, and Isaac would probably be the only other person
Okay.
that he mentioned that it
Okay.
wasn't. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. So in that case, I would have turned to the Titan and be like, "You're free. Is there anything else we can help you with? What are your plans?"
Sorry, mouth is full. The Titan sort of like steps back just a tiny bit because he doesn't see where the voice is coming from. Like steps back a little bit, tries not to step on a house or something, and he looks down and he goes, "Oh, quite sorry." And he sort of like waves his hand a little bit, and all of that blood and viscera and whatever kind of just flies off your body, and you are now like clean again, if you like, you want to call it clean.
Thank you.
He just sort of like tornadoed the gunk off of you.
Thank you. Is there anything else we can assist you with?
You've been such a great help to me.
If you're able and willing, I mean, we would love your assistance on dealing with the crowd that was trying to enslave you. I mean, there's many more of them.
And he sort of like looks around, does a little survey of the city, tries not to step on you, Voltaire, since you're so close to him.
I can step back a little bit.
I mean, you can stay right there if you want.
No, I would move away if I'm gonna get
He,
stepped
he,
on.
he sort of does this whole thing like, I do not see anyone else.
Not here in the present, as in like the town square, but all over the world. They're agents. I'm sure they will try again.
And by that time I shall be stronger. They sort of, shall we say, took me off guard,
Well,
but
yeah.
that shall not happen again.
When we walked away, you were a stone, so I bet it was quite a surprise.
Indeed. Do you know who I am?
You're a titan. That's all I know at the moment.
That is very derivative.
Derived from what?
I am a being of creation, of progress.
Of progress. Okay. Progress of life. Progress of science. Of what?
Yes,
Okay. Are you okay?
I will be. I appreciate the assistance, and you will be rewarded in kind as soon as I regain my composure.
Oh, take your time. I don't think anyone's gonna come around bothering you for a while.
I'm gonna cut to Isaac real quick, just kind of like see what's going through his head right now. He's got kind of like a turtle in his hand. He's got this to deal with. but also he's sort of like fangirling right now. So
He's got the turtle. It's still trying to bite him.
oh, very much is.
And he's like holding it slightly away from his face. I'm going to like wiggle closer to Voltaire. And like as he's kind of, I feel like it's truly just like he'll lean over to Voltaire and be like, Voltaire, can you ask him a question for me?
Okay, sure.
It's really weird, but can you ask him like, can we have some of his like blood or something so I can test it? That sounds really weird. Does that sound too weird? That's gonna sound too weird.
Okay.
And Walter doesn't even have to ask that. As you see, the Titan sort of like raise his arm up, and with his fingernail slices a bit of his arm, and a giant droplet of blood just starts careening down, and kind of like splats right about here. A pool of blood right in front of you.
It's like a 5-gallon bucket got dumped out.
Pretty much, yeah.
I will run up, take like a little like glass vial or something out of my bag and just take a sample.
I'm surprised Freddy's Isaac is only taking one.
That's it.
I lick it. Put my
I'll take
hand
a
in it
couple.
and lick it.
I'll take a couple.
You get a bucket and a mop for the sweat ass blood.
Wob, wob, wob.
Ah,
Wob.
Wow.
I'll take a couple samples, but I'll like really make sure I'm not making eye contact with the Titan. Like I'm looking down the whole time, and like then I run back next to Voltaire.
and at that moment, Isaac, you hear in your head, "Child, do you fear me?"
I turn and look at Voltaire. Oh my god, he's talking to me in my head. He's talking to me in my brain.
Well, why are you talking to me? Talk to him.
Oh my god! Do you know who that is? That's the Titan of Progress. He's the last remaining Titan in the Age of Calamity before the Great Petrification.
That's what he just said.
He's the founder of Lunar. Oh my god, he's the founder of this fucking city. I can't look at him and talk to him.
And you see, you all see as this little like exchange is going on. You see, Bashika sort of like makes a little stance and poses with his arms crossed, like he's proud.
Dude, that's like I'm not religious. That's comparable to like meeting God in the supermarket. I can't talk to him. What if he thinks I'm like weird? Work is like him. That's weird.
I'm pretty
You
sure
know?
it's too late for that because
Oh, probably.
like he can, hear everything you think, let alone say out loud.
Oh, oh shit.
Indeed.
I'll like tilt my head all the way back, trying to look up at him.
It's like you're facing down the alley or road.
Hey, man. Sorry about that. No, I'm not afraid of you. You heard all of that. Your blood. Sorry if that was weird.
Progress is never weird.
That's a good point. You need. Would you like anything else, or do you need anything else? Our friend.
I am quite all right.
Our friend, and I'll point back toward Blue Jay. Our friend has some healing mud with surprising capabilities. If you want to give that a go, it might be rejuvenating.
And he looks over at Blue Jay very quizzically. And for the first time in this whole encounter with this Titan, you see it move a lot as he sort of like gets down on his like knee, and the ground starts to like kind of quake a little bit. As you guys are trying to keep your balance, and he brings his face like extremely close to Blue Jay, and he says, "Show me this mud."
I'll like take a step back and be like, well, and I'm gonna open up my bag of holding and take out like the two, like, I don't even know how to describe this measurement. It's not a lot of mud. It's like a bucket of mud. I take out like a bucket, just a simple bucket of mud, of healing mud, and I bring it out, and I'm like, have.
And he holds out his finger, which is extremely large comparative to you. And it looks like if you were to place a bucket on his finger, it would literally just be like a tiny dot on his finger. And he says, "May I try?"
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just like let me just give this to you.
I do not require all. Just a sample.
Uh, okay. And I'm just gonna give him like a handful.
And again, the ground starts to quake as you guys are like trying to keep your stance as he stands up straight with this little bit of mud in his finger, and he puts his finger in his mouth to taste the mud. And he stands there for a moment, contemplating magic.
You
I
can
taste
eat it?
there is a hint of progress and overcoming challenges in this. Where did you get this mud?
Uh, I found it. It's my special mud.
Where did you find it?
In Snow Vault.
Ah, where is that?
I'm not sure how to describe where that is.
You got you got to remember he's been petrified for thousands of years, and Snowball's relatively new.
It's a new city in insert compass direction here.
I mean, if you have a map, you could kind of show him. I'm pretty sure you might have a map, or at least one of you would have a map.
Could he see the map with his size? Could he read it?
Like, can
I don't know.
a minor illusion a slightly larger map for him to look at?
Okay. Does anyone else have minor illusion?
I will help out at another 5 feet of map.
Nice. So as he's sort of like looking at this map, he says, "Interesting. So this snow vault is a new settlement?"
I mean, in relation to you, yes.
Progress is such a beautiful thing.
We should introduce you to. You should go there sometime, and we'll introduce you to this one gentleman. The progress you would not believe. They can make metal walk and talk now. It's almost alive. It's pretty cool.
Interesting. And as if he's sort of reading everyone's mind, he says, "Professor Isaac Reinhardt, how did you come to know about who I am?"
Um, Apologies if this is forward, but you and by extension your brethren uh, are my life's work. I've devoted most of my waking hours to study and archival of material and knowledge relating to the Titans, the Age of Calamity, all sorts of things sort of centered on that.
You have done Veridar proud.
Thank you. It means a lot, actually.
Voltaire, I sense that you were not from here originally. Your, shall we say, creation was not here.
My creation was from this planet, but my ancestors are not.
Interesting. I heard tales from my brethren in days past of other planes or planets or worlds beyond ours.
Have you been to other worlds? I thought you created these worlds.
I have many brethren.
Um, from what I heard, it's now had.
There are many that I feel are still alive.
Oh, that's good. Good news.
One of which I can't help but smell or feel coming from you, Voltaire.
Oh?
My sister, Alfastra, you smell a lot like her.
That good or bad?
That depends. Because there's a lot of that smell in this general area. Some of the captors smelled of such. So you tell me, is that good or bad?
Well, from what I reckon, I've only learned of me not being of this planet like 7 cycles of the sun ago.
I would say it's been about 2 weeks, maybe almost.
Okay. So so about 14-ish cycles of the sun. So I cannot speak of the will and intent of every one of my race, but I do know there are a few good ones, but seem mostly to be bad on this particular planet of Verdar. From what I gather, they're trying to take it as their own and basically enslave or kill off Earthlings.
I do not believe that is the intention. You see, my sister, she is, how do you say, dying.
Your sister, a giant.
It is hard to explain the makeup of my sister.
I'll hold up one of the Daleganite crystals. Be like, is she in the form of these?
That is one part of many.
Many, many. So she is not a planet, she is your sister. A actual
One and the same. Some titans or beings of creation take the form of the job.
then
My sister's task was to experiment, to see what it would be like to form an ecosystem on her back. I see that she was successful, and for you would not be standing in front of me if not.
I believe that is true, but then not successful to a point that they're obviously looking for other ways to survive besides ecosystem on her back. Is it something we can help with? Something we can do? Is she hurting? Dying? Why?
There comes a time in a being's life when they begin to fizzle. You would all know it as old age. She is one of our oldest. She is my older sister. It is just her time. but it seems as though the beings of her own making are not ready for it to be.
So if she ceases to exist, regardless if they take over this planet, her crystals would eventually disappear.
Not disappear. She will still be in her own form, if you will. Just a carcass of who she once was. While she may not be alive, the ecosystem will remain, but not in the way that they would like.
So right now we can talk to crystals, communicate with them. That would cease to exist.
Precisely.
And
I'll put my hand on the professor and be like, any other questions?
presumably as well, the network that keeps you connected and able to regenerate with the Lodeoganite. I feel like if the mother, the satellite itself, is gone, or at least reduced in some way, I fear for the network itself. It might not work anymore. Is that a worry of her children?
Are you asking Voltaire or Bashika?
I will ask Bashika.
He would essentially reply with he's unsure.
Yeah. Okay.
While he knows his sister is out there and is essentially slowly dying, he doesn't know anything else.
Do we get the impression just from like what Voltaire's asked that because the kids are starving. They keep saying that they're starving. They keep trying to absorb and eat things. Do we think that that's like the kids are working on their own, or is it? I guess the question would be like, do we think that the beings she created, her children, are attempting to feed her or keep her alive voluntarily or against her wishes?
That might be a possibility, but I am not entirely sure.
What do they want with you? Sorry, that was so disrespectful. You're super powerful. Respect, good stuff. Why would they want you alive and around again?
I believe you may know the answer to this. For I am a being with energy and magic and power.
Yes, fair enough.
So what I'm hearing is that the battery's dying and they need a replacement. Is that right?
That seems to be the case. And he sort of looks at you, Philippe, and he kind of sees through the facade in a way as he sort of gives you a bit of a hard stare.
Don't stare any longer. I might have to charge you for this.
And he sort of, as he's looking at Philippe, he says, "There are some who wish to exploit while others suffer."
Well, ain't that just the truth, ain't it? Bless their hearts. I hope they don't suffer much. Well, now that you're free, what are you doing next? Have you had any recollection as to exactly what happened just before you were awoken from your slumber?
I do not feel comfortable conversing my past with.
With what? You cut off there, Dave.
Oh, he said he doesn't feel comfortable discussing his past with you.
Surely there's nothing to hide, but you may discuss it with them, and I can be on my way if it pleases you. And the form curtsies and bows, and we'll start moving away.
Oop. And then before you get too far, he says, "In your mind, Philippe, you cannot run forever. You cannot always do her bidding."
This is my decision to make, not yours, and I appreciate your concern.
While you may think it is your decision, She has you wrapped around her finger.
And I will gladly enjoy that embrace.
For now you will. But when she is done with you, she will toss you out like another one of her broken toys.
That's fine. At least I was a toy that was worth playing. Much better than being orphaned. Try not to kill them. You being awake was not even close to where you're supposed to be. So now I'm back to tying up loose ends. Well, it seems like I've upset our new Titan friend here. I'm going to look for Penny. I'd rather not be the target of his ire or his displeasure. A measly person such as I will never, ever be able to compare to such a Titan. Please, I'll keep in touch when I can, and I'll let you all have this. And Philippe walks away and starts murmuring to himself as if talking to an earpiece.
So how's everyone else reacting to all of this? We'll start with Gorm.
Still kind of freaked out. Which bits and pieces of that were heard by? Was that in everyone's mind, or like?
The end of it was not. So for like a short amount of time, you guys see Bashika sort of like stare intently at Philippe. And you do kind of see his lips moving a little bit. Which is really weird. But then Philippe just continues to walk after a brief moment, and Bashika's attention turns back to you guys.
You did hear that kind of last part about not being want to be a target, and that whole spiel that was broadcasted to everyone. Verbally was spoken to.
And you also did hear the part where Bashika said that some people just exploit people or exploit things while others suffer. That's sort of like paraphrasing.
Why are you angry at Philippe?
He is not who he claims to be.
Oh, that explains a lot. Because stabs him when I had the chance.
Don't take that back. Don't take it back. Say it with your chest.
Alright, well, what are we gonna do now?
I'll look up at Bashika. Are you going to be like roaming the planet, or is there somewhere for us to contact you potentially?
I will, shall we say, be around.
Do you have a mailing address, or?
You will find the answer to that when you need it most.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I'll just turn to look at Blue Jay across the way and be like,
I give the same response. Shrug my shoulders.
against the turtle tries to bite me again, and I'm like, okay.
How long is that gonna be a turtle?
1 hour, so we should probably kind of move quickly if we could.
Yeah, I would say about this time it's been roughly like 30 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, which
I can use other spell slots to like keep it going. I
Or
do
you
have a
can,
couple questions.
maybe ask for help.
It's true. I was gonna have people that were stronger than me probably tie him to a chair, but I'm
well,
open. I'm open.
we have cells we can put him in.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Well, yeah, one of them should be clean-ish.
Oh, okay. Huh? You know what? I don't want to know. Actually, don't tell me.
The fact that only Gorm and Voltaire and Lil Kid know what that means is fucking hilarious.
These guys have a thing for taking hostages.
Someone should have cleaned it up in there, hopefully. Anyway, let's go find out.
Is that where you guys are going?
I mean, out of character. We were gonna chase down Coralie, but that seems like a low-key arc.
Well, I will say that Isaac gathered that Cora is not like in this general plane.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah, we figured that out.
She's in hell.
I mean, you don't know where she could
Oh,
be.
she maybe isn't in hell. Hope not. Sounds like hell
Get
sucks.
the hell.
I would ask Gorm to lead us back there and have Ike watching for Philippe to make sure people aren't following us.
Kyle changed his Zoom name. That's scary.
I know it.
I don't like that.
Let me just make a couple adjustments real quick. So you guys are going to the Spiderweb hub, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just make a couple adjustments and then
Is that not what we were supposed to do?
no, I just have to make adjustments because certain people aren't here. Oops. Give me a second.
I think Lokia also wanted to go to the spiderweb.
Yes. I believe she did too. Yeah, just give me 1 second, one more second.
On the walk over there, I'm gonna sidle up next to Blue Jay. Be like, seems like that went well. You know, Titan approved healing mud.
Right? You have to try this stuff. And I'll like push the pail over
Oh,
towards
you're
you. Here,
eating-
have some.
Okay, you're eating it. That's great. I'm gonna dip my finger and yum. It's so grainy.
It tastes exactly like mud.
It's so grainy and earthy tones.
Actually,
Yum.
Isaac, roll Arcana for me.
Oh my god. You know, it's just like really fine dark red wine.
Yeah, that tastes exactly like mud.
Yeah, it's really some of the best mud I've eaten.
But I will
Right?
say, I will say that when you like eat some of it, you do get like a sparky sort of feeling in your mouth,
Oh my
kind of like Pop Rocks in a sense,
god. Oh my
but not
god.
really.
Wow, it's so unlike anything else I've ever eaten.
But I will say that Blue Jay doesn't get that effect.
Wow, it's so good, you know, I don't think I could possibly take any more. We have to conserve what we have, obviously. I feel like I never actually asked you, like, are you like are you devoted to some sort of god of the earth or something? Or is the mud sort of separate? Or...
Ah, yes. They're a very, very, very small known god among only my people, but yes, they are very well known for their healing mud, and we refer to them instead of the earth god as the mud god. And we did not know that you could eat the mud.
I mean, what a joyous day for mud god devotee. Do you consider yourself a devotee of this god?
Oh, absolutely. It is my life's mission to start influencing others to, you know, convert to the mud god, because obviously, oh yes, okay. This is amazing healing powers and just powers in general.
Sure, yeah. So interesting. You know, I personally haven't heard of the mud god. That's probably just, you know, I'm not religion wasn't really my kind of strong suit. I didn't really follow that path. There was a time when my father did want me to become a cleric, but I kind of veered away from that. I mean,
Isaac,
but
as you're talking to Blue Jay, she's got a lot of green features to her, but for a moment she starts to turn way greener, and you could sort of like sense that like she's trying to hold back a throw up.
oh,
It's like, oh,
are you okay? Sorry, did I upset you talking about? We can always talk about your god later.
and Blue Jay, you actually do start to feel really sick, like out of nowhere. You don't know if it's because of the mud or something that you might have eaten, but you do feel really sick.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm great. Just give me like 2 seconds, and I'm gonna dig into my um 2 fingerfuls of it. Should I roll on the mud?
No, no. doesn't really have much of effect right now.
Hey, you know what? Maybe too much of a good thing, too much divinity in one go.
Oh, I think I'm just getting used to it. I've only ever had it on the outside of my body. I mean, like, it just must be more powerful than what I was thinking.
Okay,
I love this.
sure, yeah. As I'm like kind of rubbing circles into Blue Jay's back and like trying to be soothing in some way. Um, can I like try and think about like any kind of like books or information I've learned on godly figures in the world and like which cultures celebrate which kind of gods? Is that mud god real?
I'll do you one better. Roll history for me.
For sure. Wow, rolling really well tonight, guys.
So as you're rubbing Blue Jay's back to soothe her, you get a brief glimpse through what seems like some like a memory of sorts through the eyes of Blue Jay, and you see in front of you just for a brief moment a totem, and all around the totem are her people as they're sort of like bowing to it, and it just cuts away.
I'll just keep kind of rubbing, pat her on the back as we're walking. Be like, yeah, you know what? I'm sure you're, just not used to it yet. You probably build up a tolerance, and hey, listen, I don't want to sound sort of like, arrogant, but I'm pretty well read and I'm very proficient in writing as well. I write plenty of curriculum and lessons for my students. If you ever want to do like, I don't know, like a 5-minute pitch or like a little like card handout you could give to people that does like the pros list of the mud god, because Titan approved that's a big one. That's a big one. People kind of pay attention to that one.
I'm gonna like get really, really excited for a second. I'm gonna be like, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. The mud god has only been known to my people for so long because everyone else turned their back on them when they needed them most. And so I have given myself a personal mission to give the mud god more support by informing more people so that it is not lost among my people, as we are very solitary.
For sure, yeah. Build up that tolerance, maybe take a nap, take your time, really think about what you want to put out in the world about the mud god. And then you just, come grab me and we'll just jot some stuff down later on. Okay?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just gonna like go back to feeling sick after the energy wears off.
Get a couple pats on the back and I kind of nod and keep walking.
Yeah, and after I would say maybe 20-ish minutes, give me a second. Oh, before we go any further, did somebody tie up that turtle, or is somebody holding it captive because the spell's gonna wear off probably before you get to this headquarters, or this place that Voltaire and Gorm are leading you to. I would say as
Those stronger people.
I would say as soon as you
Fine, I'll
guys
do it.
as soon as you guys start approaching the entrance to this headquarters, you see the form of this turtle start to like contort and like change violently back into what was the cultist. And before it can like make a swing at you, Isaac, Gorm sort of like comes behind it and bear hugs it.
Just lifts him straight up off the ground and starts carrying him like nothing's even happening.
And as soon as you do that, he kind of like gets startled and he drops his weapons. And yeah, you guys make your way to the headquarters of the spiderweb, and I will bring you onto the map right now. And as you enter, Isaac and Blue Jay, this is all new experience for you. And I will say, walking through the town, Blue Jay, you got a lot of eyes on you, a lot of disgusting and concerned eyes on you, Blue Jay. Because the streets are pristine, they're clean, and the people are wearing like really fancy clothes, and here you are walking around with mud all over you, eating mud, and they're giving you some pretty horrific looks. But you brush it off. It's nothing that you haven't dealt with before. And as you enter this headquarters, I know I'm not really representing it right now on the map, but you see that it's bustling with like people in uniform rushing around. There's like people training in one corner. There's like drills being done. There's a little bit of like a class going on in one section. You also see a beholder just chilling, and Isaac would know that these are usually evil creatures, and so it kind of like freaks them out a little bit. And walking towards you is a dwarven fellow, not like hefty as you normally would know dwarves to be. Like usually they're pretty bulky and sometimes fat. This guy is kind of thin in frame. He's got that dwarven build to him, but he looks pretty, as you would say, fit. And he starts approaching, and he says, "Welcome, glad to have you all back. I see you saw our little friend outside there."
Lester, yes. Hey, yeah, we had a nice little chit chat with them.
Yeah, I sent some of my men out there, and it was not the best idea on my part. But I take full blame for that. I've got a few men in the infirmary just trying to regain their composure, heal up a little bit. That was a horrible move on my end. Did not know what I was up against.
Yeah, we could probably use some of that rest ourselves. We did dispatch the cult members that were out there. But good news is Titan seems fairly friendly. Not too aggressive.
Bashikid, right?
Yeah.
That was.
Yep.
I think I read something a little bit about him. One of my agents had some textbooks about him.
Yep, Professor here seems to be a encyclopedia. Kind of picked up right on it.
Oh, I didn't quite see you there. My name is Lester Ashcloak. Captain Lester Ashcloak. What might your name be?
Pleasure. I'm Professor Isaac Reinhardt.
Professor?
Yes, yes, not in town. I work in Black Belt at the academy.
Speaking of Black Belt, Voltaire, can I possibly speak with you for a moment?
Yes, sir.
And he kind of like pulls you over to the side over here.
In the water.
And it's glass. It's glass in that one part.
Okay. That's
I I think I did relay that like only the center part right here is actually like water, but like everything else is glass or bridges. But he says, I've been talking to some of my agents here and trying to get some sort of strategy going about the headquarters in Black Belt. I wanted to get your input on this. I don't think with how the town is upholding itself that it would be in the best interest to reinvigorate that project there.
At the moment, I would agree with you. It's going to take a very structured plan and capable, like more than average capable people to keep it up and running. The king seems to be cracking down very heavily.
So I've seen.
Yeah, and
I did,
we got my mom out, but I mean we'll get back to it. I don't definitely not leaving that, but we have a bigger fish to fry right now.
yes. I just didn't want you to be upset or anything because I know that you love Black Belt. That's your home. I've come to think of you as a friend. Am I wrong in assuming?
No, sir, I call you my friend.
Good. Yeah, I just didn't want to let my friends down by, not doing what I had originally promised to do.
Yeah, like I said, right now is not the time. I mean, there will be a time, but now is not it.
I will say when the opportunity arises, Lieutenant Bogan over here has already signed on to be the head over there.
Lieutenant Board. Yes, this was the snow vault one.
Yes, that was horrible, and yeah, it wasn't our best move on that regard. There wasn't a lot of help there.
Okay, I have faith in you. Just make sure we take very well trained men when we go.
That is my promise to you. I will make sure Fred will get our guys in tip-top shape.
Oh, I saw Ted. Ted's back.
Kinda, sorta. I mean, you know how beholders can be a little weird, I guess. I would go talk to Fred. You'll get all the information. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a little weird for me. I prefer the old fashioned way of reproducing.
Yeah, that kind of just another one popping out of you is kind of weird, huh? There was one. Now there's two.
And he walks back over and he says, "So, Black Belt, right? Such a fantastic place over there. A little too exotic for my taste, but to each their own. So, how are you liking it in Pure Star?
It's certainly been eventful.
Granted, it's only been about an hour or so, but
Yeah, no, and I almost died in that hour, so it's been a mixed bag. I'm sure the afternoon will get better.
oh, certainly. If I might make a suggestion, there's a nice little restaurant down near Titan's Landing that just serves the best biscuits you could ask for.
Wonderful. When we're finished interrogating a cultist, we'll all go for biscuits.
And at that moment, he sort of turns his gaze at Gorm, who's like sitting there, bear hugging this cultist. He goes, "Another one. Oh boy. All right, you know where to take him." I actually forgot to get that map ready. I still have Damon's token on there. Let me just fix that real quick. All right. Go back to where you guys are. Oops. So, anything else you want to go up to the holding cells? Any questions that need to be asked? Anything you want to check out before you go up there?
Nah, I think Blue Jay's just like staring at everything right now.
Can we say that we went back and got Willow
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
off the ship?
yeah, definitely. And Core's just sitting there. He asks you how everything went, and yeah, he just stays on the ship. I can't like really.
You good here, buddy? Alright. We're gonna go back into town.
Maybe he's like recovering from some motion sickness from getting used to like flying on airships in this primitive time.
To say that Gorm was able to put the cultist in the holding cell and then come back down. But you all see Fred as he begins to float over to you guys. Isaac and Blue Jay, you do like feel a sense of fear in the pit of your stomach and your chest as this beholder starts to approach you. And this is not like your typical beholder. He's got pink skin and a giant bushy mustache.
He looks like an
That's what
old
he
man
looks like.
beholder.
He is. And he says, "You guys, how's it going? Back already? How was the trip?" And he looks over at you, Voltaire. He says, "Getting Dad." He fights as he starts like pretend to punch you with his eye stalks.
Pretend or actually punch me?
Well, I mean, he's like, like the whole like play fighting, like
Yeah. I was gonna let
like
him.
he's roughing you up.
Like if he actually hit me, I'd be like, ow, 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 ow.
He's mostly just like pushing you around with his eye stalks.
You've seen that
He's
thing
excited
out
to
there,
see
right?
you guys.
That thing's like 5,000 feet tall. We were out there fighting with it.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. Just next time, let me hit you first.
I forget how squishy you humans are.
I'll punch him back.
And your fist sort of like goes into his skin a little bit. It's sort of like
Like punching a balloon.
it's pretty much
Well, glad to see you're doing well, Fred. I saw Ted hanging out. Ted's back. You made it. You found him.
Electric Boogaloo, but I like to just call him Ted.
Oh, so Ted Talk. I mean Ted 2.
Ted 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Nice. So is it like last time?
But
Like
yeah,
you have all your memories and everything?
yeah, just another little copy of me. But since Ted's not here with us anymore, I just I couldn't go on living without Ted. So the next morning, Ted 2 was born.
Interesting.
That's how it be.
Well, that's kind of cool. What happens if like you split again? Would there be like 4 of you?
Yeah, they might.
I mean, what's to stop you making like 100 and going out there and fighting with that Titan?
Oh, don't get me excited there, bud.
That would be an interesting sight to watch.
You keep selling it to me, and this might happen. Who's your friends back there?
Oh, new friends, yes. So, little Kia.
Well,
Gorm's
yeah,
back.
obviously.
Gorm
I'm
has
talking about short stuff back there.
Yeah. You should, Gorm has some stories to tell you. You should catch up with him sometime.
Yes, that was more Ted's thing.
Then I got,
No offense, Gorm.
you're the same person.
I like to think of myself as a separate person, a separate entity, if you will.
If you say so. Anyway, a couple friends from my hometown. We got Blue Jay there, the green one. Even a little extra green right now for some reason.
And he sort of like leans into you a little bit with his giant bushy mustache near your face. White shell covered in mud.
Don't ask, it's her thing.
Guys doing a little mud wrestling or something.
Oh,
And didn't invite me.
I'm sure she'll invite you into a mud party.
I don't want no party. I just want to see some mud wrestling.
Oh, and the other one, Professor Isaac Reinhardt.
Oh, a teacher. I'm something of a teacher myself. How's it going there, pal? And he sort of like reaches over everyone to shake your hand with his eye stalk. Oh, not too hard. Just messing with you.
Wow, you're so
Yeah,
exuberant.
beautiful, I know.
Incredible, truly.
That's what they all say, Fred's the hot stuff in town. Yeah.
I'm sure they do. I know I will after this.
It's okay, there's enough Fred to go around.
Isn't that just?
And what did you say your name was? As he's pointing at Blue Jay.
I didn't say it. It was Blue Jay. Jackjawed.
Well, like the bird, right?
Yep, the bird.
You know that variety is pretty damn tasty.
My face is gonna pale and it's gonna be like, oh,
Put a little
yeah.
salt and pepper on there, a little bit of spices. Ooh, that's a good snacking right there.
Yeah. I'm quite sure yeah. I'm gonna like back up and like kind of like go towards like the exit, so I have like a quick escape. Like trying not to be mean, but at the same time, like I'm just like I'm not engaged.
I don't have a stat block or anything for Ted or Fred rather, but I'm going to roll a d20. Yeah, he doesn't get the dynamic of what's going on at all. He's just totally oblivious in the moment. What brings you all here? Last I knew, y'all were going to what was it Black Ball, Blue Bell,
Black Bell.
Black Belt. Yes, that's right. Why are you back? You want some more missions or something?
We are here looking for Lokia's sister,
You mean the bald one, right?
the bald one. Yep.
Yeah, the one that likes plungers on the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just what I'm guessing. I ain't actually talked to her, but she looks like the type of person.
That would like a plunger on her head. I'm not sure what that kind of person looks like, but that did not come across my mind.
You gotta broaden your mind a little bit, bud.
That yeah, sure.
Get like me.
Is that part of the lessons?
You know what? That might be now. A little bit of mind broadening. Might take some psychedelics to help with that. I know of a good place down in Fool's Heath that sells some really rocking stuff.
Oh, I got some. There's this powdery stuff. I'll pull out one of the powder bags.
Oh god.
Have you ever tried this stuff?
Oh, this stuff. And he sort of like grabs the sack from you, dips his eye stalk in it, and then just, boom, down the hatch. Boom, man, some good shit. And you see the giant eyeball on in the front of his face. The pupil starts to dilate as like his veins start to glow even pinker than his skin.
Oh, I didn't know you were a partaker.
You know what? You gotta try everything.
Well, you don't have.
You gotta.
Some of us are a little more fragile than you. Alright, what are we doing here? We make it.
I will say, Gorm, as you were coming back from, sorry, that voice really takes a lot out of my throat. As you're coming back from the holding cells, you hear the familiar bark of Leaf. Now, I'll just put you down here. And as you approach, you see Leaf with Raziel kind of just sitting at the table. I don't know if you're still with us. Mr. Gorm. I think you might be sleeping. You all hear, everyone else also hears this barking kind of like reverberate through the halls of this headquarters over the sounds of like people rushing around and frantically starting to do stuff or trying to do stuff. You hear this familiar bark. What do y'all do in this moment? I mean, only really Voltaire would be able to really know what this is.
Oh. I was trying to let someone else have a chance. Beef, buddy. What are you doing? Give him a big hug. Okay, we just hear the barking.
Yeah.
Well,
if that's the case, I don't do anything yet.
We should probably make our way,
Yeah, we need to get upstairs.
up to get the interrogation or whatever going. Sorry, is that a dog? Is there a dog in here?
Oh, there's a dog.
Is this not like a super secret, like classified location? They just have a dog?
Well, they can't hear anything out there.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You know what? I've seen weirder shit today. I'm not gonna question it.
We've got this special thing that was invented by Tarthano called, I think he said, soundproofing?
Oh. For sure. Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't understand it.
It was more the dog, the dog just sort of being here, like an emotional sort of support for.
Oh, that dog. Oh, that belonged to Laslin.
Oh,
you don't know anything about Laslin.
I'm gonna guess and say my condolences. I'm
Yeah, I get a little too emotional thinking about this.
Oh
So
my god, your tears are so large. I'm so sorry.
I'm just gonna step away for a moment.
I apologize. I look at Voltaire.
Yeah, sore subject, but
I'm,
he'll
I'm
be
so
okay.
sorry. Okay, maybe you better. I'm gonna be quiet now. I'm sorry.
Give him a minute. Let's go upstairs.
I'll just let you guys move your tokens. I'll say that I'm gonna just move Lokia's to the side because yeah. Oh, excuse me. So if you guys want to move your tokens towards the bottom of the map, I'll just move you up here, Voltaire, and I'll switch places. And you actually that you find Leaf, and you see that Raziel is sitting at the table, kind of like just petting Leaf and giving him some food and whatnot. And what Blue Jay and Isaac sees as they're coming around to this area is this drow and like cleric's garb, sort of feeding this giant corgi
How
that
giant
just
are we talking?
like the size of a small horse.
Oh,
And he's just like joyfully eating these uh, pieces of like food from Raziel's hand, and Raziel's just like petting him. He hasn't even really noticed you guys yet approaching. Leaf does, and Leaf runs over and he gets on his hind legs and puts his front legs on Voltaire's shoulders, and
Leaf.
he's really fucking tall. And he starts
knocks me over.
just a little bit, yeah, and he starts to lick your face excitedly. And just to describe him a little bit more, actually, let me show you the token. He's got very grayed skin around his face, and his eyes are kind of like a glossy sort of white. He's partially blind. He looks really old, but he's the goodest boy. He's got a little saddle on his back. And yeah, he's licking Voltaire's face as he's yapping away excitedly.
wait, can we get a reference? Like, how tall is Voltaire so that I can envision this properly?
How tall is Voltaire?
What like 5'11" ish?
Yeah, almost 6 feet. And this dire corgi sort of like towers over him by like maybe a foot while he's on his back legs on kind of like Voltaire's shoulders. He's a big boy. Big, chunky, dire corgi.
Blue Jay is going to excitedly, like calmly, but very obviously excitedly, and kind of wanting to go faster, but like doesn't want to spook the dog, gonna like approach the dog and like let the dog let Leaf sniff her hands to try and see if she can pet Leaf.
And you know that his name is Leaf because he does have a little dog tag on him that says his name. And it's spelled Leef.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, can I pet him? And I'm gonna be like so excited. I'm gonna be like a little kid on Christmas.
And Raziel sort of like turns around and his eyes get really bright as he sees Gorm, Voltaire, and Loki, and he says, "You guys came back. Sir,
Yes,
you could."
I keep forgetting that they're not here now. Yeah, we're back. We made it back. Glad to see you're still safe and sound.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been taking care of Leaf. He took Laz's passing a little rough, but you know, with the guidance, the newfound guidance I have with Salune, I was able to really comfort him through this hard time.
Good.
And he's getting through it. He's a good boy.
Good
He
to
missed
hear.
you guys.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
I could tell.
yeah, you could definitely pet him. Just remember, don't get too close to his eyes. He's really sensitive about that. And just take it gentle. He's old.
Don't try to ride him.
Yeah, last person that tried to do that, yeah. He would not let them stop doing that for a few days. it kind of reminded him of the old days, and he's too old for that.
I'm gonna be like, no worries, and I'm gonna start petting him. I'm just gonna be focused on Leaf because he's so big.
He licks some of the mud off of your face, and he just like gives you like the happy pants. How is Isaac reacting to this?
Trepidation. Isaac is a cat person first and foremost, and that's a giant ass dog. He's contemplating, like, he'll go and like gently give like a couple pats, but very much with the energy of he doesn't want that dog to jump on him and lick him, because that's gross.
So he will actually like approach you, Isaac, and he's sort of like just sniffing you out, and
Hello.
he sort of like he like rears up a little bit, and he kind of like sniffs your face,
Oh wow.
and he kind of like just does the little like boop as he like licks your face just a tiny bit.
Yay. Aren't you such a sweet fellow? And I'll give him a little scratch on the head.
And after you get done doing it, he kind of like uh steps away from you a little bit and starts to chase his tail a little bit, and he sits down in front of you.
Good boy. Well done. Do we feed him? Look at everybody. I don't really carry, like,
He's
oh,
he's he's eaten enough today. He's had a lot to eat. Like, I was just giving him a little snack because he did well with his training. Can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you can keep an old dog on its on its guard. So I saw Gorm taking another one of those cultists upstairs. Is that where you guys are headed to?
Yes.
I I just want to say I apologize if we didn't get all the blood out. It was really hard to clean all that up. If you do see a little bit, I am so sorry.
Oh, well, thank you for cleaning up any of it.
I mean, I can't take all the credit for that. I had help with some of the other agents, and it was a collaborative effort.
Glad everybody's working together.
You know, going to that church back in Snowvault really changed a lot of things for me. I think it was for the better.
Good to hear. I mean, it looks like you're definitely leaning into it.
I don't feel so constrained anymore.
I hope Zalone treats you well.
So far, so good, and I've been able to help people with her guidance through that difficult time that we had a few weeks back. But I don't mean to hold you guys any longer. You guys got stuff to do. It was very nice to see you again.
Yes, sir. We'll
It-
catch up.
If you do go anywhere else, could you if you guys come back here, could you bring me? I don't see myself getting out any much. I'm probably gonna be stationed here a lot. So yeah,
Try to remember for you.
thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna take leave, and we're gonna go back to the training room. He's got a couple more drills he's got to go through before lunchtime, and yeah, I'll see you guys whenever.
Okay, yeah, we'll
And
be in touch.
he he tries to like awkwardly give you a handshake, but he's unsure about it. He's like very hesitant. Awesome. So I'll bring you guys up to the holding cells.
Any man.
Bring Lokia down here just because. Um, yeah, seems like they cleaned up a lot of the blood. It's only a little bit here and there, but only because they were kind of like dried into the floor. But yeah, you see the Gorm is sort of like keeping the cultist in the cell, kind of like being that heavy muscle that put the fear in its eyes. I'll let you guys have the floor with this. I know that Isaac has some choice words.
I'll go over here while we're grouped up, and I'll just look at Voltaire and Blue Jay. Is it weird that I'm kind of don't know if nervous is the right word. I've never done an interrogation before. Do I just like hit him until he says something, or
Pretty much. I mean, you could always resort to the hitting. I would start to ask a few questions first.
And at that moment, the cultist runs up to the bars and he starts shouting at you, Isaac, in a very aggressive way, but you can't understand the word he's saying. And he kind of like takes his finger and kind of like pokes it to his neck. And you can kind of get the general sense that he's threatening you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
look, you got him to say something without hitting him.
I mean, I think good stuff for the first interrogation, right? It can only go up from here. We're already on a net positive. I didn't love this, but you know, I didn't love the whole wanting to kill me thing. And I'll like kind of look over Voltaire's shoulder and be like, "Yeah, well, you already tried that, didn't you? So, and that didn't work. So,
And he continues to yell at you in this strange language.
I think he's calling me some unkind things."
That sounds like that's the right ballpark.
Yeah, Voltaire would recognize some of these words as some of the words that his mother used to mutter under her breath.
No, I can't imagine that he's telling me how much he likes my hair. Okay. Okay, so just ask questions, and if he doesn't answer, then I hit him.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Oh, okay. And I do the little like boxing jump in place, like I'm stretching and psyching myself up.
And Gorm sort of says, do you need me to hold him?"
If you could, that would be lovely. Thank you. I will walk up to him, and I'm going to use my mind link because it says that I can speak telepathically to any creature I can see within 90 feet. I don't need to share a language for the creature for it to understand, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language.
Okay.
So I will say my questions like out loud though, as I kind of speak them into his mind.
Okay.
So that everyone else like knows what I'm saying. Awkwardly staring at each other for 5 interrupted minutes. Hello there. Sorry about the turtle thing. What's your name? Oh, to me now.
You will die for that.
Seems like a long name. Do you have a nickname?
And he spits in your direction.
Okay, lovely. Fine. We will start with an easy question. And I'll kind of lean in. Friends did this to me, and I'll point at my kind of like ruined eye.
He looks at you, looks at your eye.
I will just like turn and look at Voltaire for a second, and then I'll look back to him, and I cast Mage Hand inside the cell.
You want to go inside the cell too? Or you're gonna remain on the outside?
Yes, yeah. I'm just
Okay,
gonna put
okay.
my hand forward. This my magical hand.
Okay.
And I'll ask Gorm to hold the cultist's like hand out.
Okay, yeah, he does just that.
Okay. I think everyone would see Isaac kind of like definitely sort of gulp, almost like swallow kind of hard for a second. And I'm gonna take my mage hand, and it's gonna grab his pinky finger, and I'm gonna start pulling it back. And I will just look at him and say, "Would you like to try that answer again?"
You can hurt me all you want.
Okay, we'll try another question. The night that you and your friends, if they're not dead already, they will be soon. The night that you broke into my office and dragged me out into the night, you took a friend of mine, and I'll kind of use minor illusion to just create an image of my friend Nikea. She's like a She's a Goliath woman, kind of pale skin. I think she has like a top knot probably, so sort of like shaved on the sides, but then it kind of is pulled back into a bun, kind of falls her hair over her shoulders. And she's wearing like fine clothes, like professor's clothes. I'll hold up the image. The night that you kidnapped me, you took a friend of mine as well. I need to know where she is, where you took her.
Probably Tinfa food now.
I'll use my mage hand and I'll break his finger.
He exclaims, yes. But he seems pretty steadfast.
Wonderful. Well, you're nearly useless. Great. Fine. What were you doing with the Titan?
My fingers. Come on. You know you want to.
I don't want to do anything. I would like the truth, but that seems like it. You don't feel obligated to tell me. You have 9 more chances to tell me, and I will move on to things that you do not want broken.
And he starts to laugh and get closer to your face. His features are poking out of the cell, and he just continues to essentially laugh at you.
I'll just look at him and I'll say, see, you don't seem like the brains of the operation, if I'm quite honest.
Neither do you.
Oh, that's very clever of you. It feels like you don't know why you kidnapped me that night. You probably, got the order from someone much more powerful and much smarter than you, from some faraway desk or faraway outpost, and you marched your way into our school under the cover of night, and you dragged away some random gentleman who in no way would be strong enough to resist. I am not physically strong. I admit it. But I wonder if you know why they decided to kidnap me. Do you know why?
Your brother put up a fight. You seem to be easier.
I think you see Isaac's expression drop at the mention of his brother. What did you do with my brother? Take my hand, reach through the bars, and grab his face in my hands, and I'm gonna cast Shocking Grasp.
As you do that, you start to see where you're casting this, his skin seems to be like an RGB color changing, and he doesn't really seem to have any reaction. Like he can feel what you're doing, but doesn't have the same reaction that you were hoping for. And his expression does not really change.
I'll just be kind of holding him still. That is a fraction of what I could do. I would really like an answer. I'm getting a little bit impatient.
You want answers? You will not get them from me.
I think that Isaac's gonna kind of turn and walk over to just away from him for a second. And he'll look at Blue Jay and he'll look at Voltaire. And he'll be like, I need to take a moment. Perhaps if there's questions that either of you would like to ask, I'll be back. I do want to. I do have other things I want to ask him, but
Sorry.
I just need a moment. And I'll kind of just walk down this hall a little bit and take a breather, a real quick breather.
And you see you hear in your head as you're walking away, I knew you were a coward.
I'll just sever the connection.
And then you hear him laughing and essentially taunting you in that same language that he was speaking before.
Guys, I really fucking hate this guy.
Whoops.
That whole thing went on in their heads, right?
I mean, Isaac was spouting off the questions as he was thinking them, but you didn't hear any responses from the cultists. It was essentially just one-sided thing that Isaac was saying, but nothing from the cultists. You could ask Isaac for what how he replied, and I'm sure Isaac would relay that information. But I'm not. I'm not going to assume anything.
Yeah. Well, he said he just walked away. So I would look at him like, you've met your leader, or who I presume to be masquerading as a friend. Tells us some interesting stories. Just curious, why do you follow them?
Now, the language barrier is kind of difficult, but you do understand little bits and pieces here and there of what he's saying. What you can gather from his response is essentially he is essentially saying that he wants to, or you would gather it to be like it's his duty.
Duty to your Titan?
And the one word that you can sort of like pick out from his response is mother.
Another Titan. We all have our life cycle. Hers is coming to an end. Why do we need to end millions of others so she could live for a short amount of time?
And he doesn't really respond with words, but he just points to himself, points to his neck, points to you personally, points to his neck.
You want me to look at your neck? You want me to look at my neck?
He looks at you like you're an idiot, essentially, and you see his skin start to like change color, the same color that Yuri's skin would change when he'd get frustrated, sort of like a yellow and purple sort of like fluctuation.
Can I change this skin color?
I mean, you could do whatever you want with your skin. You're Zolgren too.
I would match his color.
He is going to grip at the bars and start to essentially cuss you out in Zolgren, as if to kind of say, "Are you taunting me?"
Well, it was kind of a mocking. Um, It'd be like, you don't have to kill to live. I know our mother dying, but it is not the end for us.
I just want to hear from Blue Jay real quick. How are you reacting to a lot of what's going on?
I'm kind of just like I'm just like standing there awkwardly. I've never participated in a in an interrogation like this, but it doesn't seem like it's going well, I think. But I'm just gonna like I'm gonna stay quiet because I don't think I'm the one to give advice or anything. But I'm just kind of like staring and like that's a little this is a little weird.
It's better than some. They're talking a little bit.
You're right there, Kyle. I just saw your life flash before your eyes.
Forgot I accidentally kicked like a lever, and then I leaned back, and then
Oh no.
continue.
we need
Yeah.
we need Willow. That's what we need.
And all of a sudden, I'm
Like, go slap him around a little bit. Wake up.
Isaac. Uh, as you are sort of like standing off in your little area that you're in, you feel like something tug at the back of your mind, and you hear that voice of the person you were just talking to. You think just by severing connection, you will get rid of me? Two can play at that game.
I'll march my ass back on over, and I'll just reply in my head, well, you didn't seem very interested in talking, so why Why would I continue?
Because this is a fun game.
Be more fun if you participated.
You see, this is where your primitive beings forget that it is not always as you see.
Yes, right. Primitive beings. Heard that one before. Just so you know, just so you're aware, these primitive beings right here did slaughter every single one of your colleagues. There's none left. You do know that, right?
You really think that we would just. You really think that it was as it seems? It was all a game. They were meant to be slaughtered. It was all part of the show.
I'm gonna try and lean into. I'm trying to get him to overshare out of arrogance. I'm gonna lean in and go. The game couldn't be that good of a game. I bet. You don't seem like the type to make a very good game.
You think. Sorry, guys, my internet cut out. I don't know if you guys heard what I said.
No, we didn't. We were just sitting here in silence.
Just making
Oh,
really
boy.
direct eye
Yay.
contact. It's all good.
So he essentially said, I know this tactic. We do the same shit on my world. You get buddy to get them to overshare shit. And he essentially says, the difference here is you can be my friend because you are lesser. I do not make friends with the animals. I eat the animals. And that is what you are, an animal.
Yes, wonderful. I've heard. You know what I also am? In addition to being an animal and a lesser being and a coward? I'll kind of step forward a little bit too. I am a scientist. I'm sure you have those on your highly advanced planet. I am a scientist, and I have been introduced to so much these past few weeks. So much that I had not even considered was a possibility, let alone real and living and out somewhere in the world. 2 weeks ago, the most important thing I had on my mind was my lesson plan. Now, old undead titans brought out of their petrification back to our plane, planets full of greater shifting beings, hive minds, creatures that heal and communicate and live as one being under their mother. 2 weeks ago, that was insanity, to put it politely. And I learned that, no, it was real. It was real and it was all around me. And I am a scientist above anything. So my first instinct, my first action was to learn, to read, to ask questions, to put together the pieces in my mind to make some sense of this new reality I found myself in. I am a scientist. And I don't know your name. And I don't know your task, your classification. I don't know your background. I don't know where you fit into this great machine that you serve. But I know one thing that you are, because I know the one thing that I am. Would you like to know what that is?
You're going to tell me anyway.
Maybe you are smart. I am a scientist, and I kind of put a hand on my bag, and it looks to me like I've just found my new test subject.
And you see at that moment his eyes start to widen.
I kind of smile and start digging around in my bag, pulling out my kind of my spell book, my notes, my equipment. I say, "Oh, you didn't think we were going to kill you, did you?"
That would have been preferable.
I take it back. Maybe you're not so smart. I will start kind of digging through and laying out like my notes, carefully laying out my thing onto. And I'm going to shift my mind link towards Voltaire. And he just hears in his head, I was gonna try some things. God, now that I have the opportunity, it's I might have to leave to throw up, I'm not gonna lie. The stuff that I have that I'd like to do might kill him. Is that okay?
I think I'm as curious as you are.
I think you should kill me.
Okay, well, I wasn't talking to you, okay? Privacy, please. Thank you.
We are all friends here. Come on, kill me.
There's no fun in that, but if you happen to die, then. But.
How about I just provoke your friend over here? And he points over at Gorm. He'll kill me. I saw him kill many people. Or what if I make fun of that one over there? She'll kill me. Maybe not quickly, but she'll do it. What will it be? And then all of a sudden, Blue Jay, you hear a click or like something to that effect, and you hear, "You're welcome to join the party too."
Wait, can I actually wait, I'm so lost. I thought I couldn't hear them because it was just between.
It's a mind party now.
Okay, okay. I was like, I've been like listening here as me like, oh, I'm so mad. But now that Blue Jay knows, this is gonna be different.
So,
Sorry,
ugly
Taylor,
one,
yes.
ugly one back there. Why don't you do them the honors of killing me?
Okay, wait, really fast, just so I have reference. At which point were we able to start listening in?
Literally right before he said to join the party, essentially, or like right at that moment when he said join the party is when you could start hearing him. So you didn't hear anything else before that.
You just got tuned in.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure because I was like, I
And then he
did not
immediately
feel
calls
right
you
things.
ugly.
Yeah,
You would
I'd
have
be
heard
like,
you would have heard like Isaac still talking out loud. It was just like the one-sided conversation.
yeah. I would have heard that, but I wouldn't have heard him. I'm just gonna be like, if anyone, Blue Jay's gonna be like really upset. They're like, first of all, among my people, I am one of the most revered for my looks, and second of all, I don't want to get my hands dirty. That would that would make me, I'd have to go bathe in the river to get the blood off. And God forbid that I do that, because then I have to go find some more mud.
You may look pretty among your people, but to mine, you are just
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
not a compliment. That is what we.
It's still better than your face.
But you should be glad that your mother planet is dying, because, woof, that face, I'm surprised it wasn't earlier.
Would you rather it be your face? And his face contorts to look like your face, Isaac.
Very well.
Or
Did
would
not-
you rather it be your brother's as he contorts to your brother's face? How about now? Or maybe your girlfriend as he contorts to Nikea's face.
Okay, listen. Nikea and I, we might play the same sport, but we're batting for different teams. Okay? That was presumptuous. I don't love it, but
And then he sort of takes a moment, and then his face contorts into Willow's face. Ah, this is the one.
Dare you, disrespectful son of a.
Yes. And he looks at you, with Willow's face, and he just smiled. And yes, it's uncanny, but like it's just really grotesque the way this looks on this body. Sort of like bad CGI in a way.
Like it's just his face with the hooligan body still.
Yeah.
Oh God. And he's way too big because
Yeah.
Willow's realistically like a third of his size.
I mean, it's
Ew.
scaled to size, but
It's got that thing where you try and blow up a picture to be bigger than like the resolution will allow it to be.
it's kind of grainy a little
It's
bit.
kind of blurry.
It's not quite 4K.
A little bit when it turns to Willow's face.
Struck a nerve? You might want to kill me now, huh? Go ahead. I am ready. I only saw their face in your mind. It'd be nice to know the name.
You don't deserve to know it. And I'll kind of reach through my bag and pull out like a spare shirt or like large piece of cloth or something, and I will, I guess, put it just like over his head so I can't see it. There we go.
Poor Willow.
Oh well,
Love it.
God damn.
Love
I've
it.
been in a coma for 3 days. There's some bitch out here. I want a 6-foot version of you. 240p. Yeah, I mean, if no one has any other questions, my experimentation would be like to describe how I do it because it's gnarly, but like my hypothesis is that Lodeoganite can heal mortal wounds. So I would like, I think I have a couple pieces of it. I would just, this is so gross. And if anyone else had any that they wanted to use, I would. This sounds like psychopathic. I promise, guys, I'm normal. I would just do like increasingly worse, like just very plain, with like my dagger, just like trying a little bit, seeing if it'll heal more, seeing if it'll heal like a little bit more. I just want to see
You're
what
testing the limit. You're trying to find the limit to where it stops.
Yeah, I want to see the threshold of like how much you can be put back together.
Before it starts hurting him again.
Before it starts to like be too much for this like
Nice.
whatever thing that you eat or consume is unable to help.
So, like, describe again how you're like. I know you're like injuring him, but how are you using the Lodeoganite to essentially heal him?
I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, I think somebody not put like a piece in the center of someone's chest.
That would be Leora with Yuri.
Yes, and that worked from what I remember.
I mean, yeah, he was dead.
Yes, he was dead. Forgot about that part. I would probably like, oh, but I might have even Voltaire be the one to just like place the crystal. I don't know if it has to be like a Zolgren that actually like initiates the process.
I would warn her that she couldn't touch it with her bare hand. Or he, sorry.
Put my gloves on. I use my tongs.
While you're preparing all of this, that cloth that you put over his head, it starts to rise off of his head,
That tells
and
me.
and as the cloth sort of like uncovers his face, you see there's horns that are protruding out of his head as he sort of pushes the cloth off of his head with the horns. And as soon as the cloth comes off, it kind of like right back into his head.
I'll just look at him. You know, you're so right. I should really do you the honor of looking you in the eyes when I do this.
Yes, and you're so scared about touching these things. But we're already inside of you. I could smell them. Mother has made her new home.
I'll like pull my leather gloves up. Well, she better start paying rent pretty. Shall we get started? And yeah, I just want to
What
see
are you
what's
What are you
the
doing first?
like just like minor. Like I truly, it's just.
Are you initiating the like injuring aspect, or you have somebody else do it?
I mean, he is a scientist. He'd probably be like, because he wants to monitor exactly how much each time so that he can increase in increments. So I think he'd probably just take like, I have a dagger. It's like a simple dagger, and just start small and see at what point working my way up. And I'll do it like,
So what are you removing? Like what are you starting with?
like
Like a finger, a piece of skin, chunk of skin, a limb of like any limbs of some sort?
I'll go like, that's so gnarly. Ooh, I'll
You
go like chunk of skin first, I guess,
okay.
and see if it'll like regrow or heal over or.
So you just like carving into ham,
Oh
you
god.
take off a chunk of his skin, with like a, and it's oozing blood and getting all over your gloves, and he reacts to it. Yes, it does hurt. He does feel pain, but he's looking at you and he's just like egging you on. He's laughing at you as he's wincing in pain.
Lovely. Yeah.
Go ahead,
So
do some more. Hurt me, damage me, heal me.
I'm not here to feed your weird kink, my guy. I'm doing science. Can you please be quiet or I will gag you? Thank you.
Correction, it's a fetish because he's about to
It's
finish.
true. It is true. And we've all learned.
Don't gag him, it might make it worse.
It's true. As soon as I said it, I'm like, he might like that.
What he's hoping for.
All right, freak show. Listen, I work at a university. You think I haven't heard things I don't want to hear? Children are terrible. Teenagers do whatever they want. I can block them out. That's not a problem.
Students like this one, and he turns into one of your students.
Oh. Wow, you're
Care
really.
to cut into your student a little more?
No, it's a good thing you have that ability, because if I was stuck with the base face that you have, oh, I would have learned how to change it too.
I love this side of Isaac.
Listen, when he gets stressed, he gets really bitchy.
Don't we all?
That's just how it is, you know?
That be life.
But yeah, I will start with a chunk of skin. I will, I guess, graduate to like a finger.
So are you taking the chunk out, then using the Lodeo Genai to heal him, and then moving on to something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see like at what point. Like I'll start with things that are non-lethal. Like obviously like the finger to see if it'll grow back, if it can replace a lost limb. And then I will work up to things that would like potentially be lethal, like blood loss wise, if you were left too long with it.
Now, question just for clarification purposes. And this does help with everything. He is still robed in his ceremonial cultist garb. Are you disrobing all of that to be able to do these experiments?
I'm probably disrobing like top down. Like he can
Okay.
have, I'll cut so he has a stylish pair of pantaloons.
Okay. So what you do see while you're doing these experiments is you see like a lot of scarring.
Mm.
And as you heal this missing chunk of skin, it also produces a scar.
He's been around the block a couple times. Interesting. Okay.
And you notice as you go to cut one of his fingers off, his other fingers are misshapen and scarred as well.
Okay, so somebody's done this before. Lovely.
You think this isn't my first game? I've played many.
I should hope so.
I've survived many. I will survive this one. Unless you give me the gratification of death.
All right. Well, you might want to hold your breath for the next one. Yeah, and I'll move on to like if I see like if the finger will grow back, then I will move to like things
It
that.
does. It does grow back. It takes a little bit, but it does grow back. And again, this finger is a little more misshapen and grotesque than it was before.
Yeah,
More scarred than it was before.
I gotcha. I will like it's gonna take a while. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'll go next to like an artery and I'll wait and like kind of think that like it could be fatal if left long enough, but like
Roll me a medicine check.
Can I say that
Really?
I'm like sitting in a chair behind, just watching?
Yeah, yeah, definitely could.
man,
Yeah, I mean, it's a learning experience for you too, Voltaire.
Notepad and paper.
artery.
What can I do?
Oh God.
Yeah, so you're like looking around this specimen, and you're not too familiar with this race of being. You don't know what's an artery and what's just textures of skin.
Cut his dick off by accident. No, I'm kidding. Listen, I know there's an artery there. I won't do that. That's mean. I'm really hesitant to, just from a moral standpoint, like full Y incision him and like see what's in there.
Oh, just like
I'm-
without any like, she's just fully awake for it.
I'm very hesitant though. I feel like that's a touch too far on the
I
You
lick,
never know until you try.
I lick the tip of my pen and like lean in a little, watching intently.
Listen, I've like dissected a frog before. I haven't done it on a living guy. Not really predisposed to violence.
Well, you're a scientist. Let's find out.
What is Blue Jay doing during this science experience?
I'm going to say, just from like, because Blue Jay is hunted before, so it's not very different, but it is kind of bothering her just slightly that it's an actual kind of person, but at the same time, they insulted her, so I don't know if she really cares that much. She's just kind of like looking away, maybe putting some mud in her ears, and just kind of like she's not gonna leave 'cause she doesn't want the dude, like however conscious they are, to like understand that it got to her. But like at the same time, like she also kind of just wants to stay just to kind of like spite him, if that makes
There, Dave.
Haha! I realized I was muted, and I had this whole fucking monologue that I just did. Yeah, yeah, me. Um. Anyway, I rolled that because the captive looks over at Blue Jay's direction because he's trying to like get a sense of where everyone is, and kind of as a skilled uh warrior such as himself, he's trying to look for an exit strategy, just in case. But as he sees Blue Jay sort of turn away and put mud in her ears, he sort of says in Blue Jay's mind,
Blue Jay's kind of just like gonna like just to herself, because she's got her like arms crossed and shit. She's just like leaning against the wall. She's just gonna like clench her fists a little tighter, but she's not gonna give any other physical reaction, and she's just gonna pretend like she didn't hear them at all.
okay, okay. Kind of like was that the win? Yeah, so the experimentation, it goes as well as you hypothesized. Every time you cut a piece off, the Lodale Ganite gets absorbed and it heals the damaged area, but it does leave some scarring. So I'll let you use that information to shape your next moves.
Hmm. Kind of like group huddle with everybody. I'm kind of whispering, stage whispering. Are we like, cause like I could make one that might kill him. I don't know if we want to leave him alive. He's very, very annoying. I don't like how smug he is.
And he also stage whispers, I can hear you, you know.
Oh, Lucy says what? Okay,
I didn't say that. So it doesn't work on me.
that's awesome. And how many friends do you have alive right now? Because I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just gonna be like, 1 vote for killing him, and then just shut up.
Okay.
Yes, kill me,
I'm not
please.
we're not talking to you. You don't get a vote.
We can just gag him, and we'll continue this later.
I wouldn't mind killing him. I know that's a little bit much, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if we should let him. The possibility of him escaping. Now he knows where his building is, and
well, I'm pretty sure they already know where this building is.
yes, fair enough.
Regardless.
We've known for a while.
I'll like really whisper really quiet, trying to make it so that he doesn't hear. In fact, I will scooch
I would
over.
say that, yeah, I was gonna say Isaac would know
I'll
to
scooch over.
move away.
Just like shuffle the group over, like we're talking. The mean girl's talking about someone we don't want them to hear.
We can go over here.
Yeah, that's probably. Let's all go in the hole.
Gorm would come with.
Are you sure?
No,
Yeah, we might want to leave him.
better leave him there.
Sorry, that was a lot. That was a lot. I sort of just killed someone like 3 days ago for the first time.
I mean, you want me to finish him off for you?
He
Or-
wants to say yes, but another part of me, he's taken a lot from me.
Think you should kill him to make sure he can't do anything like that to someone else. And God forbid, like he goes out and shares with his little buddies anything that he might have learned about us.
Voltaire's thoughts on killing him?
I don't think we can leave him, no. So, I believe, yeah, our best bet
Okay.
is to get what we can and kill him.
Do we have? I don't know if he'll answer anything more, but do we have any more questions?
We've asked what we asked and got very little useful information.
It's true. That's
I
true.
mean, I've gotten more information from your experiments than what he's spouted out of his mouth.
Yes. Very good point. It's nice to know that when people fail, the scientific method prevails. Okay. I think we've decided then.
Now, you want to do it?
Yes, and I think I owe it to my friend and my brother apparently to see that he meets his end.
And Voltaire, as you get closer, he speaks to you all, directly towards you, Voltaire. Did I hear that your name is Voltaire?
And if it was,
From the family of the Light Bearer, so you're called.
why would they call me the Light Bearer?
That is not. Is that not what your name means in this language that you all speak here? That is what it means on our world, and that is what it means to your sister. That's what I'm gonna call it.
My sister?
Oh, the lore.
Hey, did you know you had one of those?
I, I, I guess I do now.
Yay! Alright,
Alright.
guys, I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
I'm gonna fucking kill that